Hello, everybody. How are you? Let me start out by fixing my camera right away. So, how is everybody? I can't believe it. It is May 15th. Already, half of May is gone. Why does that happen? I want someone to explain to me why, as you get older, time moves quicker. And as a kid, I remember it seemed like forever waiting for my birthday. But hello, Marcia's here and Mary's here. And I see that Marcia wished a very happy birthday to her son, Dan. Tomorrow is my son's birthday, Christopher, and I wish him a very, very happy birthday. So life just keeps marching on, doesn't it? Wow. But anyway, today I'm relaxed today. I'm trying to be because there's been so much going on this week that I don't have a new and exciting thing to do. It's pretty much wrapping up some things we've been working on. So, isn't that nice? For Dan and Christopher, a happy birthday. So I'm glad to be here and feeling pretty good. I was going to be putting in my garden this week, and luckily we needed it, but it has been raining off and on all weekend. So it is now the sun is out, and that's wonderful, but it's very humid, and the ground's kind of wet, so it's really hard to get out and work on planting things when it is just wet and glommy and gloppy and all of that good stuff. So, Alberta Powell, hello from Alabama. So good to see you. Polly's here. You've barely had any rain? Oh my goodness. We've had a ton. It rained so hard. Our electricity kind of blinked a little bit. It's like, uh-oh. And hello, Sonia, sweetheart. So, in fact, I'm hoping to see Jody, but I think her quilt and the care package got to her. I think it got to her on yesterday. So I can't wait to see. And I've got a story about that. Pat! Oh my goodness, we have missed our Pat Fry. Welcome back from the cabin. Oh, wow, that's great, sweetie. Now, I guess, did y'all have to move out of, or are you going to move out of the condo now that the busy season is there? I'm not sure. Oh, thank you, Miss Marcia. May it be music to his ears. Oh, you're so good, Marcia. Good job remembering that. But, wow, it is so good to see you, Pat. I was thinking of you last week because my daughter came over with her Polly, which is her white standard poodle. And actually, it's mostly white, but it is the result of a party parent. So if you look when she's newly shorn, sometimes you can see little outlines on her skin and where she's got like little lemon spots. But anyway, no condo, living at cabin. You're visiting Maryland this week. Wow, y'all travel good. I tell you what, I need to go up to Maryland, and I'm kind of like dreading it. It's like now that the pandemic is ending, I'm getting my anxiety of, being out in public, driving. But Jenny she had her first dance recital. Oh, I bet you it was wonderful. Y'all are the best parents, and it is so good. I owe you a drawing of a covered bridge. I've got to find it. I'm sure it's in my mail somewhere. I've got to get this done. I tell you what, lately I'm starting to kind of spin too fast, and I need to bring my world down and get myself together. Yesterday morning, Mark and I went. It's only a 4-hour trip now. That's right, because you're already in Virginia. That's great, sweetie. Doesn't that make it easier? I tell you. But it's so good to see you here. Yesterday, um, she had it on. She had it on Jitsi. Oh, I'm so sorry I wasn't here to see it on Jitsi. Oh gosh, everyone did such a wonderful job. Um, Mark and I got up early yesterday, or early for me. He gets up early normally, but we went and voted in the primary. And I was so proud of us. I'm realizing it's not enough just to vote presidential and the big ones. We've always tried to vote primary too, but not always paid enough attention. And now I'm realizing every every elected official, all from down low all the way up, is important. So we did our research. We looked up the candidates and saw what were their job qualifications. We didn't want to vote for anybody who just came out of nowhere. We wanted to know for sure if they were legitimate and knowledgeable about the position they wanted to occupy. So I was real proud. So we went, it was the last day of early voting, and Mark works on poll days, so he doesn't get time off, and I didn't want him standing in long lines. They said that the poll opened at 8 a.m. and they had a line of people waiting for them. So that's a really, really good sign that people are out there, even in the primaries, voting. So we did our studying, and we went and voted, and I was really, really proud of us. So we're taking it seriously, because I tell you what, a lot depends on it. So, and it's nice to look up and find out what you're actually and who you're voting for, so that there aren't surprises later on. So I've got to tell you this now about Jody's quilt. I'm so embarrassed, but so I was telling everybody the other day on Thursday night, I was trying to start explaining it, and I didn't fully explain it. So Monday, I did the binding of the quilt. Tuesday morning, I finished the binding, and then I put it back on the frame and touched up some areas that I had to rip out some stitches, or that I missed or something. So I did that. Then I took and put it in the wash, because I wanted it nice and washed. I wasn't sure. I didn't want any dog hair or, any smells or anything, not knowing, exactly what. So I wanted it really clean. And I quilted it on cotton, so I wanted to kind of have it draw up and be a little comfy. So I did that, and so then I washed it. I dried it on Wednesday, checked it again for anything any stray threads or anything that might have needed attention. So Thursday, I got ready to fold it up. I was going to the post office, okay? I realized I hadn't put a label on it. I couldn't believe it. I totally forgot about putting a label on it. So I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at the clock thinking, I don't have time to put this label on if I'm going to get it in the post office, and I've got to get it mailed. I've got to. I can't let another day go by. So I taped pinned it, or taped, I think I taped it onto her quilt. I'm so embarrassed. I filled it out, but I just I left it for her to do. Isn't that tacky? So I'm sorry, Miss Jody. It doesn't mean any lack of love. It just means I ran out of time, and I knew if I didn't get it in the mail. And I want to thank Betty. She sent a check to kind of cover the cost of all of this, and it really came in handy. Postage is expensive. Let me tell you, it's expensive. So, but anyway, I apologize, Miss Jody. You don't give a gift and have them finish it for you. Shame on me. But I just hope she knows. I just felt like I had to get it out right then. So anyway, so that all got out in the mail. And I've been thinking about our Miss Bonnie. She's had such a hard time with her eyes. And so I made her a necklace that has a charm on it that says loved. And so I packaged that up, mailed that at the same time. And I think I checked the tracking, and she probably won't get it till tomorrow. But I just wanted Miss Bonnie to know we're all thinking of her too, because she's really having a rough time. So I don't know what I would do without my eyesight. And so I'm hoping that it's going to get better and she can have her cataract surgery and she'll be back with us soon. So, okay, so I told you about her label. I apologize, but I've got to tell you the blocks were lovely, and it just all came together, I'm hoping, real well, and that she'll feel real comfortable with it. So that is wonderful. Today, I thought I would show you how I'm going to use some gold lemay on my Curly Spaces quilt. Then I'm going to show you some fabric I ordered for the indigo fabric I dyed, and I think you'll see why. Then I've got a special item right on top of that green card that I'll show you about. That's just something silly. And then I want to show you 2 works that I've done because of a class I took Wednesday. Oh, that's another reason I didn't go to the post office Wednesday. I had a class. Hi, Cheryl Hogan. Aw, thank you. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, so I think and then one more thing I want to do is the Alex Anderson, show you my Alex Anderson strips and what I want to do about that. Okay, so I took a class on Wednesday from Mancuso, and I love that they're still doing these. Let me try turning. I've got a light under here I discovered, and I'm curious how it'll sing. I'll try that. But I forgot I had a light under this cabinet that's right in front of me. So I thought, well, I'll try that. Well, I took a class from Mancuso, and I'm so glad they're still doing the virtual classes, the remote learning. And I'm excited because I don't really have a show that's too close to me. And it's nice not having to travel. Not until I'm, feel like our feet are back under us and we're comfortable traveling. I still don't always feel comfortable driving. I have to concentrate. That's getting hard. But let me get some water. So I took a class from a woman named Anna Buzzolino. Such a talented woman from Calgary up in Canada. And I think Mark said that's in the plains of Canada. It's beautiful country and long winters. And so anyway, she was so talented. And I don't know if I brought down the paperwork. Yes, I did. So let me show you a couple things because she's just lovely, 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 and so talented. She has been doing these kind of art quilts she started quilting in 1986. And here's what the class, when I signed up for the class, I asked for it for my birthday, and Mark said, go for it. And so they give you a synopsis here and what you need to have prepared for class day. Then I found this from Quilting Arts Magazine, a little article about her and some tips, some quick tips. And I would highly recommend, if you have a chance to take a class from Anna Buzzolino, please do it. And here is a pattern she gave us all to do. And from that pattern, here is my quilt. I had the best time doing this. I really, really, really did. So, see that? So if you have a chance, I have never gotten really comfortable with my ink tints. I'm comfortable enough when I take and do highlights on landscape quilts, but to do the entire coloration from ink tints is not something that I'm comfortable with. I thought I'd show you up close. The black lines are all stitching lines, and she uses cross hatching to show shadows and dark areas. And then I came in, oops, let me get that off. I put it like a wash to look like maybe it's sitting on a table so it's not floating in outer space. One good thing she did recommend is if you do this, you quilt it ahead. So you've got 3 layers, put something protective under it in case the ink tints, once you wet it with your fabric medium, that it doesn't come through and stain. And I'm glad she did, because look at this. In these couple places, it did come right through. So make sure you use a piece of wax paper or silicone protective sheet, something like that. Or even if it's a couple layers of fabric or muslin, put something underneath. But thank you, Alberta. I really enjoyed the class and learned a lot. One thing I did find, I'm very heavy-handed. She has this wonderful ability to work with it in a translucent, ethereal way. So it's just light and beautiful. It looks like something from the Dutch masters. I'm very heavy-handed. I guess I kind of go in and go, how do I actually see it? And that's what it becomes for me. Now I'm going to put this on the design wall. Do you see my butterfly? I love that butterfly. I can't wait to make another one. So I'm going to put this up real quick so you can see this while we're talking. But I really enjoyed doing that apple. So then I thought, wow, I want to do another still life with the fruit. I really do. I've always wanted, now you can't see my apple. I put it in an odd place. I'll move it in a moment. So what I did is I went looking online, got ideas for still life and still lifes or still lives, and found one and then turned it into black and white through my editing program. I printed it out, and then I was showing everyone on Thursday night how to put the lines in, how to put the cross hatching. And I don't want to directly copy someone else's work. So I use it as sometimes a starting point, or it just has something that I like about it, and I'll use part of it. But what I did on this is I realized I like 3 items. I don't like just 2. It's either 1, 3, 5. So I said, I need some height too, because I kind of had it down low on the fabric. So I decided to add a wine glass and a bunch of grapes. Then I went back and added leaves on the pear. So I have put this pattern for free up on our Groups.io. But if you would like to I cannot give you the apple pattern because that's not mine to give, but I can give you the pear pattern. Let me come down here and put hi, Mitty and Monica. It is so good to see you. Saskatchewan. Oh, I love that. How close is Calgary to you, Monica? I used to know another woman up in Saskatchewan. King, I think was her name. And I think she did sled dogs too. Okay. Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. Canada's a huge country, but most people live right near the border with the U.S. And so when I meet somebody from Saskatchewan or Calgary, I'm impressed because that's a little further out and it has a tough winter. And these are sturdy folks, let me tell you. Not really. I've been, okay. So good to see you, Monica. So, that's right. Marcia asked you that. Aw. Yeah, Pat, I love that area of Virginia. It is so pretty and peaceful and so different than like Northern Virginia and all of that. So, but anyway, I do have this pattern available for free, and I will explain more of the details about it. You sew every line except these lines up in the background. I do not want you to sew these lines, but we will do more with this on Thursday. So last night I decided I wanted to see what I could make it do. And this is what I have. Now, there is a problem that I see with it. And that is, I think the lines in the table are too dark. So what I'm going to do, because you can't use the ink tints to really lighten it. Once it gets dark, it's dark. But I'm going to take and thin out some white acrylic and do a wash over the table marks. But otherwise, I think I like it pretty good. I need to put some, when I get that white acrylic, I'm going to do some on the glass wine goblet. Although Mark told me, hon, that's not a wine goblet. That's a martini glass. Okay, I don't drink. I don't like it. And so I don't know what the glasses look like. But I thought it was a pretty good glass to hold the grapes. But there is my effort at making another fruit painting. But you can still see, I still have the problem of I'm heavy-handed. Oh, thank you, Miss Marcia. Thank you, Mary. Wow. Thank you, Monica. I might just have to be happy. Let me be me and know that I'm heavy-handed and that's just the way it is. And so, I mean, I'm not sure what else, but I want it to look as realistic as possible. And so, I don't know. But I do feel much more. Oh, my green came out. See, I'm seeing this for the first time dry, and it's a lot more subtle when it's dry. And so I am liking my handling of the greens and even the grapes. All in all, I'm really happy with the grapes. So there is my second one. I'm thinking of using this beautiful Jenny Beyer Batik as my border for this because of the orange in the pear. I thought it might, bring that part out. And there's a lot of green in this. So, but you think it's okay? And so on Thursday night, I will show this to you and give you all the little tips and tricks of how to paint with your ink tints, what to do, what not to do, and let you go from there and just not worry so much. So I still have to quilt this. What I'm going to do is a nondescript background quilting, and then I will bind it, and then I will sign it. Make sure you sign your works. I sign these. I'll find a line down here and just put my name and the year, and I treat them like as if it were a painting on a canvas. And all right, well, I'm going to go hang this up and move the apple so you can see it. Okay. Now, Monica, did you get the pattern that you had requested at one point? Because I remember you asking for something, and I don't remember if you got it. Hi, Michelle. Now, let me pull this out here. Now you can see it. But I think the next thing I might try is an eggplant. Or for those of y'all in England, aubergine. But I think that'll be my next thing. All right. So I had a lot of fun with that. I have to honestly say that. And I've always wanted to be interested in doing series. Oh, thank you, Michelle, sweetie. I've always been interested. I got the hiccups. I've always been interested in doing series. So now I'm thinking maybe a series of fruits and vegetables. Oh, sometimes I think when I talk, I swallow air and I'll get the little hiccups. But anybody that wants that pattern, I would be happy to shoot it to you. And I've just been so busy this week, taking class, getting Jody's quilt ready. And so I'm kind of running on low energy today. Do you ever have days that are low energy? I'm going to drop the shade just a little bit. I'll put it right back. Let's see. That sun is powerful coming in. All right. That's better. But I've been getting lots of headaches, and it's because I'm clenching my jaw. So it's like, Deb, you need to take a break. Calm down a little bit. All right. So now, let's do something fun. Whoops. I should have known I'd have a hard time holding on to this. So Mark has been repairing our refrigerator in the camper. And we had a refrigerator that ran off of LP gas and electricity. Well, the problem with it running off of LP gas and electricity is they're dangerous. And this particular refrigerator, the little LP burner, was known to overheat. So he thought he put on a fix because they had a recall. Well, it ended up finally springing a leak. Best thing that could have ever happened to us. Well, if you have a camper like this, all of the appliances are put in before the walls go up on the camper, because the door is only this wide. You can't put a refrigerator in it. So we would have to go and have the windshield removed, and then some kind of crane to help maneuver a new refrigerator in. So because of that, he looked around and found a company where he could convert the refrigerator from an LP/electric to an all-electric. So now it's going to be the same as your home refrigerator. And he was nervous about that. He had to pull out the refrigerator, lay it down on the floor. He was so smart. He used a great big area rug to kind of maneuver it better without it slipping or moving around or damaging the floor. Well, the reason I'm telling you all this, he did a perfect job of it too. He had to rewire all this stuff, everything. And the booklet to put this new unit in was 73 pages. Mark is so meticulous. I mean, he takes one step at a time. So it was expensive to do it this way. It'd be cheaper to go to Lowe's and buy a new home refrigerator. But this one's a 4-door refrigerator freezer with an ice maker. And I thought, it itself is wonderful. It just, the ammonia that ran the cold thing sprung a leak. And you couldn't use it anymore. So anyway, in the package that he received, the whole new compressor cooling unit, they must have sprayed some of the hardening foam to cushion the extra room in the box, and it had to be brought in on a pallet, and it was like 95 pounds. And so Mark came into me and said, honey, this came in, you can see the way it formed. This came in the box and filled the void that was part of the tool, the piece that he ordered. And he said, before I throw this away, is there anything we can do with this? And it's very lightweight, but it's a good size. Well, mushrooms. Oh, actually, wouldn't that be cute? Make a base for it, and it would be a mushroom. That is great. Thank you, Monica. Fantastic. I said, I can paint it to look like a rock and put it in the garden. Now, this might seem silly, but I love the challenge of finding, say, instead of filling up the landfill, what can I find to do this with? I love the mushroom thing. It'd be the perfect snow hill for your kids' Christmas village. Yeah, that would work. So it's already here. It's already, whatever outgassing it already did. So I said, don't throw that away. I want to find something to do with it. Now Monica's got me thinking what a magical, if I could paint this really magically, and I'd have to figure out what to use as the stem. Any ideas for that? But I thought that was awesome. Wait till I tell Mark that you said a mushroom. I hadn't thought of that. I like the idea of a mushroom better than a rock, because I could make it into like a work of art to sit out in the garden. Make a little fairy village underneath and around the mushroom. So, yeah, I was thinking of painting it to be like a rock, but now I'm loving that mushroom. A painted can. Yes, something sturdy. I can fill it with gravel so that it will be sturdy. So now I just have to find a can. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Well, Monica, I'm so happy that I showed that on here, because now you've given me an even new. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. I see this group. You think of so many wonderful things. I was trying to think of how I could even make make something like paper mache for a stem, but I'm not sure I could. I could use a can and put paper mache on that, and then I just have to seal it good. But wouldn't it be cute to have a mushroom and then like a little fairy village underneath? Oh, Lordy. But you know what? That's just summertime. Every time summer comes, I want to do fun projects. Speaking of that, let me show you this. I went to the dollar store the other day. It was only the second time in this past 2 years, second or third time, that I've been out. And I was standing in the True Value, because that's where the post office is, the closest one. And I was so overwhelmed by all the sights and sounds in the store. And I realized, wow, I have not been out shopping in so long. But when I went to the dollar store, I found this beautiful turquoise plastic bowl. And I'm thinking of taking, this is called crushed glass, and it's been tumbled because it has a little bit of a sea glass look, and these colors are perfect. And I'm thinking of putting a mastic or something I've got to make sure it's going to stick to the bowl so it doesn't flex and pop off. But I'll be working on that, and I'm going to then put this on this bowl. I picked up some microfine glitter because I can use that for lots of things. And I even saw these little bottles with the stopper in them. And so I might do a resin project with glitter or something for those. I don't know. I'll wait and see if maybe I can find a tiny little flower I can put in them. So I love summer because it's time to create. Becky and I are going to have another dye day, probably end of June, early July. Using the Procyon dyes, it's nice when it's warm summer. And you have to, with those, you soak them in the dye for a certain length of time, and then you do what's called batching, which is where you put it in a plastic container and you let it sit for 24 hours and really let the fibers absorb that color. It's different that way from indigo. And in fact, I'm going to be working on some more indigo dyeing probably this week. So I love all my indigo fabrics. You see them hanging on the design wall. And here are some others that are really pretty. And I love this one. So I've got all of these. Look at this. So easy to make. And here are some that had the wax resist put on them. So the different design shows it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So I want to do some more of this. And these were scraps of fabric I had tried to do marbling, and they didn't hold the color. So, oh, Pat, your oldest son's there to visit. Take care. Have fun, sweetheart. So anyway, I've got all of these, and I thought I want to make a quilt out of them. Something to capture that beautiful color. So the other day, I was looking around the internet, and I thought I need to find, I'm probably going to do a pattern, mainly just cutting them into squares. The Last Homely House, Kate Jackson, did a quilt out of her indigo that she dyed, and she used red as a little accent. And I haven't decided what color to use as an accent, but I'm going to try to think about it. But then I said, I need an indigo, a smaller pattern to use for either sashing or border, you know. So I looked up, and I'm pretty sure this is not true indigo, but it's the indigo look. It's by Wyndham Fabrics, and it's called Midnight by Whistler Studios. And look at this. It has the indigo look. And it's not, this is a print. It's not real indigo. But, because you can always tell, because it was printed on this side. But I thought this would be really nice to have, to kind of have something very distinctive and uniform to add as a border. And it was on sale for $7.23 a yard. Well, you know me, I said, then I need 1.5 yards of that. So I love it. And it just came in the mail. And some of my indigos are, you know, it has the various different shades of indigo. And I'm going to make sure that I do another piece of fabric for indigo that has a nice dark shade too. So all of the different colors that are highlighted in that printed fabric are in the real indigo that I'm going to put in the quilt. I also have been starting to cut pieces of cardboard because I'm going to cut the indigo fabric into charm squares. And that way I'm going to Pardon me. And pardon me. But I'm going to make charm square packets so that if anybody would like to own their own, they can purchase one from me. Because I'm loving this so much, I'm going to have plenty of indigo. All right, so like I said, I want to start a new project, but honestly, I don't think I have the energy. I think I'm going to finish up a few things and then be planning what's another project, because we've been doing so many things that I haven't finished a lot of it. So I want to make sure I get that done. But okay, so now I want to show you, I had used some of the polyester Dupioni to put a planet because I really want to finish my Curvy Spaces quilt, the planet one. And did anybody see they found a black hole? They got a photo of the black hole in the Milky Way galaxy, our galaxy. It's so exciting. Yes, the Pet Art Quilt Project's going to start Thursday night. I'm going to first tell you some stuff about how I made my fruit drawings so that you know that. And then we're going to start the pet. We're going to start the Pet Art Quilt. And speaking of that, I got some wonderful photos from... Now, who sent me the photos yesterday? I think it was Dolores. And wait till you see her pet art projects, because she entered a contest. And I think when you see hers, it'll get you excited about what we're going to do. So we will start that this Thursday as soon as I finish giving you the instructions that I used in making the Inktense painted project. All right, so, but I've got that coming up in show and tell. Got some new photos for you. All right, so I have my background block from the Curvy Spaces. Then I wanted a small, reasonable circle. This one's 5 inch circle. And I thought, I didn't want to just freehand draw it because I'm not that good at making a perfect circle. So remember this bowl that I got from the Windsong Pottery Factory in Denton, North Carolina? I used this and just took a pen and drew around the base of this. And that's what I recommend. Anytime, if you need something, look around at something you have that you can trace around. Why reinvent the wheel? So here is the circle I did. Now I'm going to get my paper scissors and cut this out. And this is a Steam-A-Seam 2 in the sheet paper that you can run in the printer if you want. I like it just because it's easy to grab a piece of this and cut out whatever I need to. So better put my glasses on. But we make a joke about getting our paper scissors, keeping our paper scissors separate from our cloth scissors. But there is a very good reason to do that. All right. So let me cut all the way around this. And I'm going to reset my iron because I can't tell you for sure, but I'm pretty certain Lemay needs to be ironed at a setting that's more for like polyesters, things like that, because I have a feeling it can melt. So here we go, just making sure I have a smooth edge. All right, let me put this out of the way and set my iron on maybe 3. Now, the good thing is you tear off one side. The Steam-A-Seam 2 has 2 papers. So one on one side and one on the other. Let me bring my camera over here. And what I'm going to do next. Oh, tonight is the purple, the moon eclipse, and purple. It's the moon eclipse, and I think they said it's going to be real red. Now, y'all might know, is there a right side or wrong side for this Lemay? And I forget where I got this. I think somebody was giving it away, and you know me, I'll take it. Okay, this is really pretty. Both sides are so pretty. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay it down. And I'm leaving a seam allowance because, whoops, it would help if I had you tilted down so you could see what I was doing. Yes, thank you, Mitty, for reminding us. Lemay will melt, use low temperature and a press cloth. Thank you very much. That's what I thought. Okay. And I want to thank Cheryl because she did an outstanding job of sending some very special things to put in the box for Jody. Thank you. Okay, so there it is. Now, I'm going to still keep using these scissors since they're out. I'm going to now take and cut this with a seam allowance because Lemay, oh my goodness, Lemay will unravel. Not unravel is probably too strong of a word. But one of the things I like doing is pulling the threads off of Lemay and using them for embellishing. In fact, I'll show you some of those. But you can take and pull the threads from the edge of Lemay like this. You just pull down, look at those threads. And they're wonderful to use in your embellishment. And I have, let me grab these real quick. I have this little bundle. So I save these in my embellishment files. Okay, so now let me get the Lemay out of the way. All right, now what I'm going to do is peel off the paper. And let's see, I've got to decide, let me lift this camera up. I've got to decide where to put it. I want it off center. I think I'll put it right here. Now, and what I'll do is I'm going to sit here when I have more time, and I'm going to fold under an approximate 1/4 inch, and then I will press it, but I'm going to let the Steam-A-Seam 2 kind of grab it as I turn it under. And this is not going to be something I can just throw together and have it done, because I'm going to want it to be smooth. So anywhere that it's, I'm going to want to come back along and have it very smooth. And then once I have it all turned under just like I want, I will iron it, and then I will probably either use some metallic thread to do a little like blind hem, stitch it down, or I'll use monopoly. I will use invisible thread like this to stitch it down. So right there, just kind of tucking the edge under. I would never want to leave Lemay without a turned edge because it's just too easy to peel off fibers. Almost all the way around. So you see, but having the Steam-A-Seam, the stickiness, makes it very, very easy to tuck under. Okay. So there. And you just want to make sure if it has a little pointy part, it's usually because of the way it's tucked under. You're taking a fuller area and tucking it into a smaller area. So you just got to make sure, like right here, there's a little fold that makes that bumpy, little uneven along the edge. So I just come along here and pull it loose carefully, and then refold it down. Okay? And I'm not going to iron it on right now because I want to go around and make it look really, really good. And then I'm thinking on this same piece, I brought down a couple other little things. And one is this beautiful netting that I could actually make a kind of wispy Saturn effect across. Okay? And then I brought down some beautiful silver. It's kind of a lemay with a pattern in it. And I thought I'd like to make another little, and maybe actually I'll make the next little planet somewhere else. Hi, Jody, sweetheart. Hello. So I just thought I would tell you, I took apart the Dupioni because it only would shine in a very small space. And so I took, now this is really going to have some sparkle. And I really like the idea of having this kind of across the planet. And then this here. All right, so that's the progress of my curvy spaces. And I really do want to finish that because I love that quilt. So that's kind of, I think, for right now, because I'm thinking for Memorial Day of taking a little break. And so I might take a week or two off, and I'll tell you more about that as it comes up. But this Thursday night, we're going to finish talking about the fruit pictures, the fruity, tutti fruity pictures, and then we'll go right into pets. All right, so I'm going to get ready and do show and tell, but then we will come back and I'll show you an idea I have. I've got a lot of applique work to do on this quilt, and I think I have a way that I'm going to do it, which is not kosher, so don't listen if you want to follow strictly Miss Alex's plans, because she's the best, so I don't want to step on her toes at all. And Jody, I do want to say I am sorry for being so rude, and including the label for you to have to put on your gift quilt. I explained to him earlier, I didn't realize until Thursday I was getting ready to package it, and I went, label! And I thought, I got to get this in the mail. I've got to. I can't wait one more day. So I'm sorry. I told everybody, that is so rude. That is so tacky. But I said I just attached it to your quilt and was kind of like, yeah, good luck. But I'm sorry, sweetie. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. So I hope, and also, I'm trying to think. I want to get if you have little little pictures of your Frankie. Oh, you know what? I didn't take a photo of it. I put it on the show last week, but I forgot to take a photo of it. See, that's why I can't make one of those big binders, a memory book of my quilts, because I always forget. I'm always running so fast to try to get it out in the mail. But if I would like to have a picture of Frankie and the Bride of Frankenstein and the Dracula and the swamp creature. I'm going to keep those in a special little folder, and I don't have them anymore. So, oh, thank you, Miss Jody. So anyway, now that's the hardest thing. I can't keep everyone's photos forever because I wouldn't have enough room on my computer. But then sometimes I want to go back and oops. So I don't know if it's on the website, I can get it from there. So that I don't want to ask anything more of Jody than she's able to. And Jody, if you feel up to it anytime in the next few days, if you feel up to it, I would love to have a few more hints on how to get people started on their pet photo things. I can look it up too. So please, you don't have to do a thing except just keep getting well. But if you have any time to jot down a couple ideas, we know to posterize your favorite photo. And all right, let's now look at... Let me put that back. This room is such a mess. Mark said, hon, you keep cleaning, but then in a week later, it's messy again. It's like, I know. And the problem is, unless you fully clean it, it's real easy to get messy again. All right. Oh, thank you, Jody. That would be wonderful. If you feel up to it, please do not stress yourself. All right, let's go look. And don't forget, I have some of Dolores's contest pictures that she has made of her dog. And one has the cutest story to it. Oh my gosh, cute. Okay, here we go. I've got some new pictures from Jody. Oh, I love our show and tell. All right, here we go. We've got Miss Alberta, and made a wonderful Miss Alberta from Alabama, made a wonderful baby quilt. Isn't that beautiful, guys? That is so pretty. I love the bubbles. At least that's what it looks like, bubbles and bubbles. So beautiful. All right, let's see who else we have. Okay, whoops. Let me see. Miss Betty. We have her beautiful Swan Quilt. I love that. And I'm showing it to you too because it's a good chance for you to be thinking of what kind of pet. If you don't have a pet you want to feature, maybe you could do a beautiful, elegant bird. We're just going to do a pet portrait. And you decide what a pet is. Okay, Miss Charlene. This is her last of her wonderful Easter quilt. And her dog Holly with her Easter dress. That is so cute. What a good dog that is, leaving that dress on. Okay, now let's see who else we have. I'll come back to me in a minute because I don't think I have anything new. Here we go, Dolores's pet pictures. She made these for a contest. They are wonderful. Look at that. So you can take lime green and purple and you still know that's a dog. Isn't that great? And I'm wondering, is the dog dreaming of dog food and dog bones? That is so cute. Our next photo, the same picture, but in yellow, pinks, oranges, and blues. Look at that. That eye is very impressive. Isn't that cute? So I'm hoping this gets you excited and thinking about what we're going to do. because you can do your pet picture in black and white, or you can pick colors. Now, this is her dog, and you'll notice the eyeglasses. But look how cool it is by doing a posterizing or seeing where your different colors and shapes are. You can make it any color, but yet everyone knows it's your dog. The reason she came up with this idea is because she could not find her glasses. Looking and looking and looking. And this is another portrait. I can't wait to see more of this. It looks like she might have used a filing thread that turns furry when you brush it with a metal brush. But the next morning she got up, and that's where she found her eyeglasses. So that gave her the idea then, because this is one of the portraits she was doing, it gave her the idea for this quilt. Isn't that cute? I said, that is art imitating life. That is so, so cute. All right, so let's see who is next. But thank you, Dolores, for giving us great inspiration. I want to show you one more time the wonderful block that Jeannie sent for Jody's quilt. And I think it made a wonderful block. I love when it was quilted. It was all in relief because she had cut an extra piece of batting right behind it, so that when I went around the flowers with my quilting, it popped the flowers right out. They were beautiful. So thank you, Miss Jeannie. She did all that by hand, and I thought that was lovely. Now, Miss Jody, she sent me this last night. Look at how far she's gotten with the Quilt Show block of the month. Isn't that beautiful? Way to go, Miss Jody. My gosh, that is amazing. This, I have a short attention span. This would severely challenge my attention span, but I admire it all the more because I don't think I have that in me. So I admire it even more. Thank you for sending that. With all she's got going on too, she has kept up with it. All right, and then she has a block packed to take and work on while she's getting her chemo. Look at this crosses quilt block that she's working on. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. I love it. And I'm wondering, is the design here, is it part of the fabric and you fussy cut it to line up? It's just so pretty, Miss Jody. Oh, I can't. And I love that she's got a quilt, especially with the crosses, just for that time when she's having to take her chemo. But honestly, she had them put it on a pole, and she walked around the hospital looking at beautiful garden pictures and, garden views out the windows. How smart was that? She's so brave. And here, look at this, is Miss Kathy Boyd's. And I love this quilt, even though some of the blocks are smaller. Her daughter did some, she did the others. And that is wonderful. And that just happens because they were printed out on different printers. Some printers, if you don't have it marked, don't shrink to fit, have it actual size, it will do this. And that's why if you're working on a paper piece product or project, it's really good to print them all from the same printer just because of that. But you know what? That quilt is so beautiful, it doesn't matter one bit. I love that it was a mother and daughter project. And then look at this nice big block she's working on. That's huge. So way to go, Miss Kathy. Okay, now let's see what else. We've got Kathy Klein. I had to show one more time because she got a first place ribbon, but also because it is an Adita sitar, and Hello, is that beautiful or what? Way to go, Miss Kathy. Beautiful. Okay, now let's see who's next. Kim Hicks. I love the quilts that she and her buddies made. Just beautiful. Let me see if I can clean this. Okay. So here is a baby quilt she made. Love. Good rail fence. I love that pattern. So bright and happy. And then here is her Merry Mayhem Mystery, New Year's Day Mystery Quilt. Looking really smart. I love the colors. It has a slightly masculine feel. Very earth tones. Beautiful. And then I love this block. Very, very nice. Like a sawtooth star surrounded by a carpenter wheel star. And then this is the gorgeous quilting that her friend Pam did on her Merry Mayhem Mystery quilt we made January 1st. Isn't that beautiful? Her colors and quilting are exquisite. So let's see now. Miss Linda Mccollum has this beautiful work that she has done. And she is just a master at hand embroidery stitches and manipulating fabrics. These yo-yos are beautiful. Folded one, her bullions, just beautiful, beautiful work. And I think she said she made these shapes around a little ring of something. So beautiful job, Miss Linda. Okay, who else is next? Miss Mary. And I kept these up. I was having to clean out the photo albums, but I said, these spring photos, so wonderful. And it shows, tulips are now kind of gone by around here, but you know what? They're still beautiful. I love that parrot tulip. That's just gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. And look how the orange and pink are great together. I one time decided my two least favorite colors, pink and orange, put them in a quilt together, and it came out beautifully. Love it. And I love how soft flowing edges between one bulb to the other. That's careful planting. All right. Who's next? Melanie. These were so cute. I thought, don't take these off yet. Newt, that is cute. And Basil, so cute. And I love these wonderful curved piece designs. Look at that. And I don't know if they imitate curves, but I think they're all straight line. Beautiful. Look at that. Way to go, Miss Melanie. All right. Now, Michelle. I had to have one more time for this gorgeous, gorgeous quilt. And I'm going to turn it a different way. Whoops. Well, look at that. Is that just beautiful? Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Michelle, you outdid yourself on that one, hon. It is amazing. Okay. Who is next? Miss Mitty. And I've got her curved pillow. And she did a great job because that's not easy fabric to sew on. Great work. And then look at her beautiful Last Supper cross stitch that she's working on. Man, that is a labor of love for sure. And then her cute pillow in her signature happy style. Wonderful, Miss Mitty, wonderful. And I love the movement in that pillow. The way you quilted it is great. Miss Polly, I just love her applique work. Love, love, love it. Okay. Let's see who's next. I think that is our last one today. I'm not sure I have anything new, but let me see. No, I don't think. But I'll bring up this picture of my daughter Katie because she's just so cute. Out there shopping with her husband, and her husband taking all those pictures of her, and her face is kind of like saying, do you really have to take all of these? So that was a cute day. All right, they're the ones that have the sun in the Marines. Oh my goodness. So, okay, let me get my lighting back right, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with my Neutral Blooms Alex Anderson quilt. You know, I'm glad that I'm staying so busy. And so, I know what I wanted to show you. Let me see. You know what? I'm not sure where it is even. I'll show you that next time. All right. What I was going to show you is images from the fruit pictures I chose, but that's not that big of a deal. All right. So, any questions, anything going on while we were looking at that? I know everyone does such beautiful work. Take care, Miss Cheryl. And thank you, Miss Cheryl, for the extra sweet things you put in. That was really lovely, hon. Just lovely. University of Arkansas students did the plantings in those wonderful botanical gardens photos. Excellent. All right. So, also, just remember when you do Inktense drawings, remember that let your colors, when you put a layer of color on, let it dry before you come in and touch it up or change it. And so that's really good to know. Okay. So in fact, remember when I told you Betty said that she's going to pre-assemble her flower units? Well, Alex Anderson just said that that's what she's going to teach. So Miss Betty was so smart. She already knew. Now, I'm doing this, but I'm not telling you to do this. I'm telling you to follow Miss Alex Anderson. But these are the strips. These are the vertical insets that go on the quilt. And let me show you the photo of where they fall. They are this strip right down here. And right now, it already has the stem for these flowers, okay? So that's the stem for the flowers. Now, these are not the same as the flowers on the outside. These are the inner flowers. And if you can see, they're going to have a cone-shaped top. This, you see this dark one right there. Look, that dark one shows pretty well, and this dark one down here show the cone shape with the petals, 4 petals that come off. So no petals on the top, just for horizontal and below. Now, that's a lot of petals that need to be sewn onto these strips, okay? I have decided that I want to applique these. On before I put all of these rows, vertical rows together. It's so much easier for me, because I'm going to do it by hand. It's so much easier for me to hold this and stitch them on by hand. Remind me to tell you about the butterfly again. So I did this, I appliqued these on by hand. And I would like to applique the flowers on by hand. So this is what I'm going to do. She didn't recommend it for a very good reason. Because once you sew all of the vertical rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 together, if the flowers don't match up, it will drive you nuts. So I thought, how do I do this so that I can add the flowers the way I want, but when I go to sew the vertical rows together, they still match up. So what I'm going to do is get some blue tailor's chalk. Okay, so I know I can see it on my white fabric. And what I'm going to go through and do is line these up. Line these up really good. And on this one, let me do this. I'm going to put this one stripe is going to have two of the pieced stripes right beside it. So move this over here, put this into position right here, then put another pieced vertical row right here. So I've got, let me get this out of the way. So I've got this, then this, then this. Okay. And I'm going to start with all of them even up at the top, up here. And then what I am going to do, I'm going to decide right now that these rows are going to be sewn together. And so what I'm going to do, I line these up. I'm going to make some registration marks. Something as simple as a squiggle, okay? Or let me come down here just a little bit and do a line this way. This will show me where these belong. And I'm going to do a circle here. There. And since I'm doing half of it on that piece and half of it on this piece, I'll know exactly how this is going to line up. Okay? So I'm registering all these pieces. I'm also going to number them. So up top, this is piece number, let me see, this is piece number 1. Then this one's going to be number 2. So I'll have them marked at the top, the order they're going to go in, and then I'm going to have very different, like this is going to be an S-shaped registration. And this is just an easy way. See that? It's just kind of a squiggle. And that's a very easy way to mark it so you know you've got the exact spacing. Then what I'm going to do is the width of the flower has to land right here. Right, the width, the two horizontal flower petals have to land right even with the middle of this connection. Now let me see if I turn this light on, if you can see. All right, let me turn that on, and then let me turn that. Okay. Now, so what I do now is I make sure they're perfectly even up top here. Perfectly even. Then I put this long ruler between this intersection and this intersection. Okay? Right there. Then I'm going to take the chalk and draw a line right here. Okay, now I've got this blue line. So I know that when I put my flower petals, when I put them on this stem, they will all be at the exact same location. And that way I can line all this back up. These, I already have them marked with a long ruler that goes from one intersection on that one all the way across to the intersection here, and I draw another line there. So that's what I'm doing to make sure, because I really, really, really do want to hand applique them. It's just fun for me. And I really, really don't want to have to be holding all of that fabric to do the applique. So now we just had Diane ask about the butterfly. You know I love this butterfly, and I can give you the pattern for free. That's not a problem at all. Just write to me at OurTimeToQuilt@twc.com. And this is wonderful. I made a rectangle of curvy lines. Let me show you right here. This is the edge part of the rectangle of curvy lined fabric. And if you go back 2 or 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks on our Thursday night, I show you how easy it is to make the curved piecing. And so then you make that rectangle and you cut the pattern of the butterfly, the free pattern I can share with you, out of that. Then you lay that on the background. Then you put a rectangle of black and pin it down over that. And then what you're going to do, let me find the pattern right here. The pattern I send you is going to be in 4 pages because it's bigger. It is bigger than this. And so here is a smaller version of that butterfly, but you'll get the big version. And you take and sew. Everywhere there's a line, you sew around the outside, you sew around that with matching black thread. You sew around each piece in here, sew around the antennae, all of that, sew around each section. So then when you've done all of that sewing, and you know what, if I had it to do over again, I would have had a batting and backing on it, because that could be your quilting too. And but I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. So then when you cut away all the excess black fabric you don't need, then you start cutting away these shapes. And that is what's revealed. I think that's pretty spectacular. I want to thank Angela Walters, because she's the one that got me on this road to get this idea. She had a quilt she was doing for a challenge, and she did a curvy section, put the black fabric over it. Then she took and quilted a big feather, cut out the pieces in between, and revealed her curvy section below. And so then I just took it a little step further and used that to make the design. Okay? And that's how I get all the colors. And you never know, you never remember what's going to appear where until you cut loose and reveal what's below. It reminds me of when you were a kid in art class and you did a really colorful picture and then colored black all over it and then scraped through the black to reveal the color. So it was a much easier version of that. And that's how you get the colors. So I'm thinking, come up with ideas of other things we can do that exact way. And it's so scrap friendly. So yeah, exactly. That's kind of how it is. And so it's all sewn down. All I need to do is just quilt around the butterfly, and it'll be done. And I think I'll do some echo quilting around it, and then maybe like, I don't know, maybe like little waves of air and little outlines of bees or other little butterflies. I'll do a very happy quilting of it. And then flowers. Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Wonderful. Okay, so I think I covered everything today. I know I'm not spending as much time. I think I'm tired. So, flowers, houses. I mean, I was like, what else? What other? I was thinking like dragonfly, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other things, because I absolutely love the reveal aspect of cutting out the unnecessary black fabric and revealing. And I think that the black between all of the colors is very striking. Very, very striking. Oh, let me show you the fruit one more time before we go. And I will be talking about this Thursday night for our Art Quilt Thursdays, because this is more of the art quilt. Although both the butterfly and this are from Art Quilt Thursday. This is a class I took Wednesday from Mancuso by a teacher, Anna Buzzolino. Oh my gosh, she's so much more talented than me, but I love trying out all of her hints and tips. And that's from her pattern that she sent us to use. So then I came up with my own pattern, and Jody loved my idea of the grapes in a wine glass. And so here is my version. And I have this pattern that's free if you send me an email to OurTimeToQuilt@twc.com. I'll send it back out to you. And it's all painted with just Inktense pencils. And as you can tell, it does a really great job. And this coming Thursday night, right before we begin our pet portraits, I'll tell you exactly how I did this. All right, everybody. So I hope that gives you a few ideas of things to do. I was trying to move the butterfly so it shows better. So there we go. So anyway, a rooster. Now that is a great idea, Diana. Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Oh, thank you. Yep, I got my hair cut on Thursday right after I went to the post office. So it feels so much better too. When it gets too long, it's kind of getting thin up there. So when it gets too long, it's too floppy. But thank you. And so good to see you, Laura. And you know what? You're never late here because this show will be there. Oh, and right before we go, I got to tell you one more thing. Last week, I had the show with my daughter, Becky. And, oh, it was fun. It was fun. If you haven't seen it, you might want to go check it out. And I noticed that it was getting so many hits. It was like, whoa, what's that about, right? And oh, thank you for telling me that, Diane. It makes me feel better. And but it got so many hits, and I'm thinking, how did we get so many hits? And then I had more subscribers. She told her students about it. So they were coming on to watch their teacher, Miss Johnson, do the Our Time to Quilt with her mom. So I thought that was so cute. And if they're watching, if they're checking back in this time, hello, students of Miss Johnson. And she loves all of her classes. So I'm thankful that you came by to check us out. All right, everybody. I want you to have a great week. Oh, I just saw the best quote. And it talked about what I always say to you every week, which is take good care of yourself, because you can't take care of others without taking care of yourself first. And I saw this quote, and it says, you can't give from an empty vessel. Is that profound or what? And that's exactly it. You have nothing to give if the vessel is empty. So take good care of yourself. Do something fun just for you. I might go see a movie early afternoon. Be the only person in the movie theater. Won't that be great? Get a big thing of popcorn. Ooh, that does sound good. All right, guys. Take great care of yourself. Have a wonderful, beautiful May week. Polly, I hope you get some rain, sweetie. Boy, I wish I could have given you some of ours. So take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye, everyone. You make my week. Thank you. Send me pictures of any of your work. I love seeing it. Thank you, Miss Marcia. Thank you, Miss Diane, for being our moderators. Bye-bye, everybody. And thank you to everyone who supported Jody's quilt. And keep doing well, Jody. We love you so much. Take real good care of yourself, sweetie. And hi, Terry. You're our hero, too. Bye-bye. Oh, there's Judy Smith, who did the wonderful crochet block that is so soft and fluffy. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. You are the best. See you next week. Bye-bye.